Hello and welcome to Sunday Stamping with Sandra. So this evening, who's watching the football? I've got to ask, who's watching the football? I have watched the first bit, so I have put the camera off now, the television off, sorry, behind me, so you won't see it. But yes, 2-1, 2-0, sorry, 2-0 leading. That's good, isn't it? A good start. So this evening, I am casing a colleague. Now, sometimes we like other demonstrators do work, we like their style, and the lady I'm going to case tonight she does lots of things that I like, so she's definitely in my style as well. So I'm going to get you down onto the table and I'm going to recreate something similar to one of her cards. So just get the camera across there, get this one down onto the table so I can see you. My hands are here. Just move that in slightly. There we go. Okay, so I know where I'm working on the area here. So what we're going to be doing today is using a little bit of Eden's Garden for the dies. The dies in this set, so you've got the light glaring on there. So one of the dies in there, we're going to use a little bit of Leaves of Holly. Now, you will have seen that the retirement list has been out. And there's lots of things that have actually disappeared. There are a few I'm going to run through later at the end, a couple of things that I just want to draw to your attention that are still available as of when I was just going online just now. So I'm going to make a start with my card first. I have already cut my card base today. The lights today seem extra bright in here. I don't know why. Sorry that this is glaringly white, but if I get it down onto the card, you'll be fine. This is going to be my strip. I'm going to cut a strip along here. Oh, there. Where did I put my trimmer? I'm going to cut a piece here just to be the strip, and I'm going to use the width that this happened to be. Those corners are a little bit smarter, so I'll just turn that around. Hi Rhonda, lovely to see you. Long time no see. I think you watch on replay sometimes, don't you? So I'm going to get rid of that piece of card. I might need that in a sec to stamp some berries onto. But I'm going to use this piece here, and this piece is going to be textured. Now, the Merry Melody embossing folder here is in the annual catalogue, so this is all fine. Now, with this one, you have to make sure, if any of you are musicians watching my recording, there is the design is on here, and you will, when you stick it down, you will kind of want to make sure that you've got the treble clefs or bass clefs on the left hand side. That's these little symbols here. So yeah, that's one of my pet hates, is being upside down when you see things that are supposed to be musical but couldn't be used if they tried. So I'm going to run this through the cut and emboss machine here. I've got my plates ready. I was well planned, knowing what I was doing. Hi Angela, you struggling to get what they get into the system tonight. I was a few minutes late. The graphic came up, but I think I was a few minutes late just logging in. Got a little bit something just grit in my contact lens, so I was trying to clear that. So I'll take this one out of the folder. It seems a bit sticky in there. I think I must give that a wipe over. Let's get rid of that one. That's all I need for the time being for the Big Shot. Big Shot cut and emboss machine. Some things are never changed, do they? So they always remain ingrained in your head, like the Whisper White and Basic White. Hi Shaz, hi Zena. Football time again. It does mean you can watch. I love it. I was just saying, Zena, 2-0. A 2-0 for starting off. That's really good. So now, having turned this over, I am going by the music because I can read it. That's definitely, the tails are definitely that way up. So I'm going to do mine slightly different to what she did. She had hers with the, I'm going to do it back to front a little bit. So I'm going to put mine on this side. Hi Lynette, another non-footballer. So this piece is going to go on here. And what we're going to have here is a piece of the Designer Series paper. I wanted to catch the border from here. Now, these dies are very nice. They are like decorative borders. So you've got a banner here, and you've got a frame, a couple of frames, and some filigree pieces. So this is what the lady I'm casing, sorry, I didn't mention her name, is Sue Moore, M-O-H-R. I think she's from America, but her style, she does loads of things. When she posts them on the demonstrator page, I'm always commenting how much I like her work. So you hate footy. I don't watch footy normally. I just have this thing when England is playing, I kind of do support, I'm there. So I did have the television on before I came on air. So we're going to have a border coming down here. But we're going to have some designer series paper. Now, this is where I'm going to just switch across for a sec. I do want to just show you. Sadly, the designer series paper has gone. No, there's no point me showing you that now. I'll do that at the end. Got this piece. Now, these I know, I had some customers who desperately wanted this, the Boughs of Holly. Sadly, it has retired. Now, I did a really lovely project with this for Retreat. I will be showing you at the end. And if anyone is interested, the stamp set for it that we had at Retreat is actually still available. The only thing that has gone is that designer series paper. Just going to take a strip off here. I kind of feel there is like a one-way design on here. It could go either. The stems, see, the white ones are prominent and they tend to be sticking out the sides. So I'm going to take this one. I can always cut a piece off, but I can't put it back on. So I'm going to give it a bit of generosity here and go 6.5 centimetres. And again, I wanted the whole length of the card, which was our 14.84, just off the camera there. Look, just at the end where my little red dot is. So I'll take that and get rid of those. So I have enough papers in here to do most of the projects that we want to do. Just the backing sheet we will have to change, but I'll go through all that in a sec. Okay, so that's that one. So this one is going to have the decorative borders. Now, I put it away, didn't I? That's a daisy. That's silly. Sorry if my arm's across the camera. It's not away. It's here. Dipstick. So I have cut a plain green one here. I don't know what I want to use at the moment. I might just take the edge out of this one and see. This is how she had done it, but she's got the, I'm doing it back to front, so I'm doing it slightly different, and the decorative edge will be along here. Now I want to just run that through. This is on the cutting plates this time, so if I move that out of the way. I do love her style. I am going to post the link to her blog post from last month in the comments below so that you can go and take a look at her. Okay, really lovely project. So this is the border die. Now we're going to have this along the edge, right? And I've got it so it touches top and bottom. Okay, that is straight as long as I get the next one on perfectly. So just hold my breath a little bit, make sure that's still in a straight line and whiz that through. Isn't it cold outside? I haven't stepped outside the door today, Susie. Yeah, I need to get over and see you, my dear. We do need to book a date in the diary. I still have a box in the lobby for you. But we'll try and catch up some point. So this one here, I have the, all the little pieces are going to come out of the back of this. So I'm just going to run this over my bin with my brush. It's brr. It was cold yesterday. I took Maria to work and I thought it was awfully cold. I went to Norwich in the morning and I took my thinner coat and my thicker coat and thought I'd decide when I got to the park and ride. And glad I had the thick one in the car. It was very, very chilly. Okay, so I'm just pulling this away. These are the Eden dies and they are in the main catalogue. So if it's one that you like or haven't had yet, lay that to the side. And there is my decorative panel. Get the bin out of the way so you can see me. Pop it back on here. Now this is going to overhang our project just a little bit. Now I could just take a ½ centimetre off here. So let me grab, where's the little trimmer? Okay, so I'm going to just take about ½ centimetre off there. So I get more of the music notes. As most of you know, I'm a musician, so I do love the music. Pop that there. Oops, that just fell. So that's going to overhang. I like to double check it before I stick it down. So that's all going to overhang off there like so. Okay, so let's get those two stuck down. Have my trusty Tombow. Just catching up on the comments. You do love a box. You love a box? No, this one's not a box, my dear. Never meant to post cross or sad face. Oh, even bless. And Pam's on here as well. Hi, Pam. Carol, hello. Hopefully catch everybody. So I was using this earlier, so that should be nice and ready by the nib. There we go. A little bit down the middle. have got my tweezers there, haven't I? Yes. So as I said, I'm reading the music. Once you've taken it off, it's hard for you to determine which way up it goes, but there's definitely a right or wrong. The tails tend to go to the right-hand side of the notes if they're going upwards. So just lining those up along there. Okay, stick that down. And then this one wants to come on this side here. So it's going to match up nicely. We just have those filigree pieces coming off the edge. Now with this one, I will go around the edges on here, but I'm then just going to dot some Tombow over the other bit, the frilly bit. This is one whereby you could put a sponge on here and just run through, but you don't need all of the pieces stuck down. So you can see I'm just tapping along the edges there, just to make sure there's enough pieces that are going to hold. Top and bottom particular, okay, and the bigger areas in between. Grab the tweezers, turn it over, and there we are. You didn't know that I played, Rhonda? I've played since I started high school. Well, no, before that, primary school. I did recorder, and we had a supply teacher in the last year, and she taught three of us to play guitar, which I can't really remember much of the guitar, but really I've been clarinet and saxophone. So I've got several of those, all still lined up under the bed, and I can sight read, so I could just pick them up, but it's just a case of getting the time these days. I would love to do the quartets again, which was my thing what I used to love doing. So here is my card ready, okay, so it's folded this way, so it's all going nicely. Now the next set I've got, not that one, the other set that's buried underneath there. So this one is Leaves of Holly. So sadly this one will be gone now. I've cut this already, just the filigree bit there. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to stamp some berries. Okay, and put them on a little block. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment. I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to have the season's greetings on this one. So yes, I planned what I was going to do before I checked the lists, and yes, they have lots of things sold on the first day of the sale. So this one's the same, just lifting that out of the frame there, and going to run over with my take pick tool. Okay, this is getting a little bit curled, the edges of my bristles. It is a consumable. I do need to get another one, but that's going to be in my celebration list. So celebration is coming up. I'm just running these through off the camera here. We are going to be having a January and February celebration, but we will not be having the double ones anymore. It's just an experiment. They tried it. We've had a few where we've had 2 celebrations a year. We have had our last one in the summer, so this will just be the January, February one. And I have a copy in front of me. Okay, so they have been ordered. We could order those on the 1st of the month. So just waiting for those to arrive. And then I can be winging those out with Christmas cards. So this is going to have this greeting stamped inside of it. And I'm going to have this one coming around like so. And then having do I want them that way or do I want them that way? I'm not sure. I want them at the top here. But do I want them coming downwards? Oh, I think it looks nicer coming downwards. So I'm going to try this in just searching for my Stamparatus. If it's on the table, I will use it. Yes, it is. Okie doke. So, you know I love my Stamparatus. I will just pull off whatever's on there so we can see. The reason for this is I've got a feeling that my inks need re-inking. So I'm going to drop this one into the frame. Just there. Anchor that one down. So I'm using this as a ghost. So I'm going to pop that back in the slot. Can you all see that? Screen's a bit on the bright side, isn't it? But hopefully you can see that. Just take them out of the way. So by having a blank, if you use your negative waste, I'm going to bring you in a bit and see if that takes some of the glare away. No, not really, does it? It's still really white. Okie doke, let's come back out. Okay, it didn't really help. So there's a negative space here. I'll bring it up to the camera and tilt it away from you so you can see it that way. Okay, so this negative space here works with any punches or any dies. You have a shape that you've cut out. I did it on the slightly on the H because I needed it to get in that gap, and this was a bit deeper. Okay, so now I'm just going to drop that into the hole. Drop that into there, and I will anchor that down with the magnet. And then if I need to stamp this image more than once, it will be in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to anchor that down on the end and anchor it down on here. I'm only going to be stamping the greeting in the middle, so I don't need the block. I'm going to place that in the middle. So season's greetings. Get that nice and straight in there, and that's going to fit in that gap. Pick it up. I have my air hockey puck, and there's my stamp. Don't worry that it looks at a silly angle. That's quite normal because we are going to stamp into that gap. Okay, so if I stamp that over there like so, I'm going to need to press a little bit harder where the magnets are. So just do that one again. Okay, and we come back in. I might need to move the magnet just a fraction off there. You see that G's struggling to get through. There we go. And I'll ink it once more. These ink pads, I've been using them a lot lately, and I know they are needing a re-ink. So they need to be done. There we go, that's looking nice and clear. So I'll keep that one. One of the ink pads was left unlocked, sadly, so it got some air to it. So I think it must have been that one. Anyway, so I'm going to pop this out of here. Just get my take your pick tool and just lift it back out. Like so. I want to keep it white. Rest that up there. Bring this one back. Now, oh, it was slightly on the hair. But I think if I just bring that like so, slightly. I'm going to put some more embellishments on there as well. This one has got this tiny filigree little frame around the outside here. I'm going to lift this on against the mat so you can see. It's very hard to keep one flat and one raised. So I am going to pop that one down. I have done some things where I've stuck that down and then pop some foam pads under here. Just a little bit tricky to do. So for today, we're going to put it all flat. And again, around the edge of the frame, I'm holding it in my tweezers. I know everybody knows me for tweezers, but it's a little bit widespread. It's when you go away to Stampin' Up events, like when we were in Vienna, and people refer to me as tweezers. They know that I'm the tweezer person, so it's quite funny. So I'm going to make sure that I've got both ends of that fairly central. There we go. And that one's in. Sorry, I've missed the comments. England 3 now. Well done. There's David being a bit pessimistic and saying they're going to be thrashed. But hey, it's good. But all is not over yet. So now I've got my cherry cobbler ink pad here. I'm just bringing that on square for the camera. And I have the berries have been labelled. I'm stuck on my ink block here. Okay, these, they have a die for them as well. So we can do these once and then we can do them again. Okay, like so. See, that's too faint. There is another one. If you wanted to put like a little gold outline on these, I have done this before and embossed them with gold embossing powder. That looks quite nice. Or the gilding flakes. Okay, but I'm going to just use these ones here tonight. So cut that off. And they need to be cut through the big shot. The cut and emboss. Haven't got the little one on the table with me today, so I'm using the big beast. Now I have to find those dies. You could see our desks. I heard someone comment on this recently. If you could see our desks behind the scenes when we're on here, everything gets thrown left, right and centre to try and keep within camera view and keep it tidy outside. Now I'm going to risk this one without the no, I've got tape there. Just getting that one lined up. Put that over there. Like I say, I'm not a big footy fan. just when England are playing, because I think we should support. You got it on and no sound. David missed the first one. I thought it was very quiet in the other room, and I was shouting through for him, couldn't find him, and he'd gone upstairs. I said, "Did you miss the goal?" He said, "Yeah." Who scored? He hadn't cheered, and I thought that was a bit strange for him. Normally you hear it. You would have heard on here, so he's been very reserved. Right, so I'm going to pop these on here in the corner. I'm going to raise these, and I'm going to put those above where the holly is, I think. We need that over there. Okay, so I'm going to put those on some pads. I've been doing, what's the word I'm looking for? Bulk crushing of Christmas cards today. Having lots of fun with it, and I'm using a set that you guys haven't seen. So anyone on my list my customers who would normally get a card from me, you won't have seen me use these. So that's a good sign. So I am having fun playing with them. And oops. I'm not going to give you any clues because you can work it out. I could have said something, but I will leave it. So they're going to just go across that corner there, like that. Okay. Now I need to get some Wink of Stella on here. I would like to have some glistening on my branches here. So this is ready primed because I did squeeze it before I went on there, but just get that through a little bit more. Just want some glistening on here. Okay. Be aware that if you put some glisten on your berries, they are water-based inks, so the inks would actually run. But I like that, just that difference, just to differentiate it between the top and the bottom on here. Okay. I won't do the whole. I could do the whole frame, couldn't I? So the frame is glistened. I think I need glasses for this though. Kind of like gets a bit of continuation, continuity, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to touch this around the edge. If you're going to do this at home and you've got this die bundle, then I would suggest you do it before you stick it down, like Sandra has. Okay, there's a little bit of the frame just has been left behind there. I'm just going to take that off. It's just spoiling it, and if I don't do it now, I'll forget. There we go, it's gone. So it's coming along that edge of that frame, around the corner. I hope you can see this. Okay, and just coming along from where that holly is, just along that there. It probably won't show up on the camera, but I can tell you it's definitely showing up here. Just dot that through. Can you see a little bit of sparkle on there if I hold it up? No, it's very white, isn't it? I've only just gone over these holly berries around here and around the outside frame. That's those done anyway. Up there, and then just some gems on there. So let's go over here, and I think because we've got the red berries on there, I'm thinking, do I want some clear or do I want some red? I think I'm going to use those lovely ones. These are one of my favourites. These were the festive pearls that were in the mini catalogue. Right, so these are the red ones from the festive pearls. There is red, there's a lovely mint green, silver and gold. I've used the other ones off these strips. I cut them into strips for classes so that we could divide those up for Crafternoon tea last weekend. So I'm just going to dot a few of these around. They will stand out nicely on here. And in fact, if I do the 5, I could have one by the greeting and one randomly on here somewhere. Where? Decisions, because there's red on here. Just going to stick one there. Okie doke. So there we go. That's tonight's card. Now, I would have, if I had an envelope with me, I would take a strip of the paper as well here and decorate the envelope with it. There's no more festive pearls. They've all gone. I'm not surprised. They have been very popular. Yeah, I've just got what's left in here, so bits really. They are gorgeous. Okay, I am going to run through in a sec just with a couple of things. So there's a card. This is, like I say, this was a Sue Moore design, a little bit back to front the other way, and yeah, so slightly different. And I've put some Wink of Stella and done it and the different greeting on there. But it's basically her design, just changed around a little bit. And I will pop you the link to hers as well underneath. So if I just pop that out of the way for now, I'm just going to run through the mini catalogue. Two things that are available still. One is I've put a marker in here. Let's do this one first. This set here is the vintage Christmas set at £15. It's retiring, but it hasn't been reduced because there are two products in the annual catalogue that go with it. There is another stamp set that I won't go for now, but there's another one in here. And the vintage domes here, they are in the annual. So these are going to go right up until April 23. Okay, so those will be available continuating on. And this is the punch. This was the bundle that was in there, Bottled Happiness bundle. So it's got the floral elements and some bottles, and it's got the bottle punch. Now you can buy the punch individually, so you could have the bottle and the punch, sorry, and the bottles here, the domes. Could be a purchase, say, any time, even after Christmas. You could buy those from the annual catalogue. Celebration would be January and February, so anything in there that you want to get, you could buy this now before it disappears, and then get the others later, which is what I've said to some people. I think I've mentioned it on here. About the fitting florets and the papers that are going to discontinue. Now, the project that I did, like I say, the papers are no longer available. If I zoom you out a little bit, oh, no, not inwards, outwards, Sandra, come down, 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 down. So this was the folder. This is the frame that I did. My camera's a little bit, how can I do this to get it in for you? There we go. So this was the project I did. It's a 12-inch box frame. And yes, Susie, it's gorgeous, isn't it? So this was my box frame, and the backing papers on here is the only thing that we would have to change. I've got several people who still want to do this project. So without the papers, I have enough papers to do the poinsettias here, the tag there, the little embellishments that are cut. These flowers are stamped and cut. The labels, that was stamped and cut. The domes we can still get. So the only thing we can't get is the piece that I've used for the backing paper. Okay, but we can still do this project. So if anyone is interested in buying that vintage Christmas stamp set at £15 while you can still get it, then please give me a shout. I'm going to be slapping another order through because I've got some other people that have ordered that. And the other one I wanted to show you that is really, really good value. And I can't understand that it's still there, but it was literally seconds before I came online. I checked to make sure I could tell you, and that is the Merriest Frames folder. It's been quite popular. The stamps and, I'm going to zoom you back out again. The stamps and the dies were available, and the order is going to go in within a very few minutes of me coming off air. So these dies here, this was an embossing folder, and that's an embossing folder and the die. You've got the outline die, but you also have some of these elements in here, which is the panel that goes inside, okay, and you have the poinsettias and things that you can stamp out. So it's a really good set. Now this was the embossing folder, and the dies were 60% off at £14.80. They were £37. Okay, and the stamps here were 30% off. So instead of 21, they're £14.70. So they were available as at before I came off air. So if you want these, please, there you go, there's a couple. I'll go through the comments before I finalise the order. So Pam and Susie, definitely. Susie, you've got the stamps already. Pam, I can't remember if you've already got those or not. If you just shout in a message to me and just say if you want me to order that stamp set at £15. The rest can be, I can get those from the annual. That's not a problem. It's just those stamps. They could go literally by the time I've been talking. I hope they haven't. Okay, so but this one I want to point out because of terrific value on saving. So 60% off that, and it's still available. So some people are just buying the folder with the dies. because the dies, obviously the embossing, the poinsettias here and some leaves and this panel, you know, you can do a lot with it without actually having the stamps. But if you've got both, it quadruples the amount that you have them, that you can do. Okay, so that's good. So I just wanted to let you know those two, because I'm putting another order through for some of them for other people. Let me bring you back to me. Oh, we'll take that off and bring you back. There we go. So we'll get those through, and I will let you know if you just send me a message if you're interested in doing that. I've got 2 groups of people that still want to come and do it. So we are thinking Christmas is getting a little bit hectic. I'm going to try and get one in before, and maybe one in January. I have a group that come together and they will probably come in January to do it. So just keep in touch with me and let me know the instructions. Everything's all done, ready to go for you. Okay, so hopefully see you again soon, and I will be back on Wednesday. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I will find something nice for you. Any requests, pop it in the comments or send me a message. Thanks ever so much, and I will see you all again soon. Go back to your football, those that are watching, and see you soon.